Shalom, shalom. Let's get this walk on, baby. This is exactly what Dr. ordered. Ubers are good when they're useful. First off, I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem B'Hadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace salutations for the elect of Israel. Shalom, Labakarian, Shaw, Yasharala. Peace to the elect of Israel. Shalom to the hopeful elect lady and her children. It's funny how, the scriptures say that, like I said, this is just me talking. I'm not able to bring up any scriptures right now. But the scriptures talk about how we're supposed to count the cost, right? And that goes into the reference of knowing what you're getting yourself involved in. Welcome. Sis Shalom had sent the sister when Shabbat is the next month. Shabbat next month. It was Thursday sundown to Friday sundown. So Shabbat is it's one of our righteous acts. It is something that we are supposed to be doing. And we can't keep it fully, right? We're not supposed to work. We're not supposed to cook. Now, there are things we can do as far as like not cooking and spending money. You know what I'm saying? Because it's supposed to be it is a restaurant. So out there using the word suppose, it's just that we live in Babylon and we got to go to work and blah, blah, blah. But we can prepare. We have 6 days to prepare. Take care of everything you got to take care of. And then, like I've been, buying lunch meat and lettuce and bread and cheese for sandwiches rather than having to spend money, 20, $25 and got sandwiches for a week or two. But back to counting the cost, it's like you go for a job interview, right? You look online and you read the description of the job, but then there's more to it, you know. And when you go to these job interviews, I suggest that anyone listen to these, you got to go in as you being the interviewer as well. You don't go in there as being like already submissive. You go in there and you start asking questions. How does a day look at this position? Why did the last person quit? Right? you know, what made them quit? Obviously, they found something better, or, you would think, right? Or it was too much. Maybe the boss was a micromanager. Maybe the job was racist. Maybe, it was just they come to get involved in it, realized they were making a lot of money, but realized everything that came along with it wasn't worth it. Now, with us being called into this truth, and we're referring to book of John, chapter 15 and 16, in regards to being called, right? Being chosen, Salat being chosen. Roughly paraphrasing, Howard Shah said that I chose you, you didn't choose me. So that completely smashes this whole Christian ideology is coming as you are and allowing the Lord to come into your heart. It don't work like that. We are filthy, wretched people. What makes you think that off the top of our mind, we would want that. We want everything else. We want to fulfill the lust of the flesh. We want to satisfy the flesh. Meaning, things that make you feel good, right? And things that make you feel good, if they're spiritual, are of the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The things that aren't, that are carnal, worldly, don't. Scriptures do say that, you know, carnal carnal man don't please the Lord. I'm roughly paraphrasing, but I'm saying like your carnality has nothing to do with the spirit. That's why we have to do our best to stay in the spirit. See, and that's one thing that's part of counting the cost. Another thing of counting the cost is like, people say that, we uh oh, I'm taking on uh the spirit or actions of the, the beloved son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls JC. Salat spider and Chris. And uh you know, but what does that really entail? Okay. One thing it entails is being persecuted. People talking craziness about you, lying on you, saying different things about you. And it's cool because, referring to the book of James, chapter 1, that we're supposed to count it all joy when we fall into various trials, right? You see, because the Lord wants to test, so the Lord is checking our temperature. We're getting our texture uh, checked. You know what I mean? We got to check and see if this fabric is good. You know what I'm saying? You know how you go into a store, it's like you're going to these, like if you like jerseys or, just clothing in general, you want to look at it and be like, is this real? You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of times you see clothing that looks real. You be like, man, this jersey is fat, son. Then you really start looking at the details of it. You be like, man, this don't say NFL. It says GFL or PFL. You be like, what is that? What does that mean? PFL? I don't want to know what PFL means, and I don't want it on a Tom Brady jersey. So, and that goes also slides right into, people being false prophets, a lot of people being fake, right? And I use the word fake. I use the word fake because it's not real. You also got to realize that a lot of things that aren't of us are real, right? It's real. It's really something I don't want to be a part of, you know. But the persecution is something that we have to endure, right? We have to endure the shit talk. I mean, Jacob's trouble is coming. They're gonna say all manner of wickedness about us. You know, they're gonna say everything about you. Oh, that you this, you that, here. And it's gonna be things that you've never been called in your entire life. You know, someone said something about me, and the more I sat back and thought about it, I'm more offended at the words that they said I used, because I wouldn't speak that way. That's how, people don't people don't like you. People don't care about you. Listen, we lived lives where we were people pleasers. We lived lives where we were actually trying to be something that how about Shimmy Awashai told us never to be. He didn't tell us to act like that. He didn't tell us to sit back here and try to be like the world, or um try to be like this place. This place is terrible. Mecca 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It'll kill you with a sword of destruction, man. Like, we have to come up out of this world, man, mentally, spiritually. This place is stuck in the drain. And every day we help us, Shine gives us the grace and bestows His grace and mercy upon us to wake us up. These are things that we should be very grateful for, regardless of what type of goal we're going to deal with throughout the day, because the scriptures do say that it is a light affliction, you know. I mean, I mean, really think about it, right? I mean, they've made movies depicting, excuse me, uh, what happened to Yahweh Shai, how he was lied upon. The man was just doing the will of the Father, doing the will of the one that sent him. And the people that claimed that they knew what the Father was and what he was about had no clue because they were very selfish people. I'm very good with the selfishness of the world. I'm very good with all the toxicity of the world. I hate that word toxic, but it is toxic because if you ingest it, you get sick. Aren't you sick of this place? Aren't you sick of this world? Aren't you sick of just just everything about it? The injustice, the persecution of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites of the scriptures, the ones that the Lord is only for. There's only for them. If your father is a so-called Negro, Latino, or of a Native American Indian of the descent of through the bloodline of Judah, meaning, i.e., were they over here before Esau came over here and made this place his? Were they Slakia? Are they the ones put that were put in chains, taking on ships, as referring to Deuteronomy 28:68 on down? Are they of that bloodline? Because if they are of that bloodline, then that's who you are. And being a part of that, because we fell off, because it was a falling away first, because we did turn our backs on Yahweh Shili Shai, we're being punished for it. So you got to figure it, right? We're the only nation of people that are really getting our asses kicked out. Ain't nobody else out here getting their asses kicked except us. We're the only ones. You know? We are the last hired, first fired. We are the borrower and not the lender. We are the tail and not the head. But what's going to happen is that all these things that I've discussed are now reversing. This truth is coming out. The prophecies are coming out, and everything that comes along with that has a price to pay. There's a movie called Blood In, Blood Out in regards to gangs. But when Yahweh, Father, who the word English calls God, brought us out of the land of Egypt, but the word Egypt means bondage because we were slaves at that time. We're still slaves now. What time you got to be at work? What time is your lunch? What time can you leave? Okay. Just wanted to make sure I put that out there. A lot of people don't think they're slaves. Are you still subject to payments? So, with that being said, kind of lost my train of thought for a moment. But with all that being said, we still have to realize what's truly going on, what's truly happening. Persecution, everything is happening. So, referring to the book of Jeremiah, we talk about, is it 30 or 50? One of the two. So I can read them both. But in regards to Jacob's trouble, Jacob, we're Jacob. So-called Negroes, we Jacob, right? I mean, look at the persecution. The northern kingdom is now being persecuted. They being yoked up. They being yoked up. I seen a video the other day where dude was being yoked up just on the strength that this dude was like in the doctor's office. I think she was like getting ready to get a surgery or something. They yoked them up. They pulling parents away from their children. We don't even know where these children are right now. They build in facilities called Alligator Island where they put you in these detention centers and they put alligators around just in case your ass might slip by somebody. You know, they got alligators waiting on you. You know, And the scriptures do say that the men of the Lord will be thrown into jail, for speaking his truth. Have you counted the cost? Have you counted the cost of us just having just enough to get by? And I listen, and I know that as Jacob, as us being the big ballers and shot callers, we want the best of everything. But at the same time, it's like some of us, ain't that. I'm not a big baller shot caller carnally, but hoping to be one in the spirit, working to be one in the spirit. When I get this new body, I'll rock this out, Lord willing, and I'm in the kingdom. Lord willing, we'll be dwelling in righteousness. The law will be on our inward parts. We will be the big baller shot caller in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We really got to sit back here and think about all this stuff, man. Really got to sit back here and think about how this looks. Back to that job interview. What does a normal day, you know, at this position look like, right? What does a normal day, our Rockets, our Lord willing, Lord getting us up, and us going to go get our daily bread, which is referred to in the Lord's Prayer in regards to, and our daily bread just means just enough. Just enough for the day. And I know a lot of times that's hard to fathom for a lot of people. So a lot of people have took on the philosophies, or aka the mindset of this world. There's people out here believing in an American dream, and it's funny because the American dream is dead. It's always been dead. The same thing that our so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans have to do every day just to make ends meet. It's now Salakia. Now those things are falling upon our enemies. It's referring to Deuteronomy 30 and 7, which is a beautiful thing. So, and these are things that we look forward to. We look forward to watching our enemies squirm. When we were the whole ones the whole times at the bottom trying to make ends meet, cutting corners. Now it's fallen upon the whole world where I took a Uber the other day, and I was like picking their brains. Hey, how's Uber shit? It's like to do Uber when it was lucrative. And some people be like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing great." I'm like, okay, good for them. But other people are like, "Yeah, let me tell you something. How much was your ride?" Like, it's like $8, maybe. Like, man, I'm only getting $3 for that. I'm like, dang. Like, how many of those you got to do a day to make whatever your goal is? One dude was like, man, I didn't know what to pay. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I didn't know whether to pay my car note, get some food for the house, or pay pay my car note, get some food for the house, or pay my rent. And I was like, ooh, you know. But then I started praising the Lord. I'm in the car. I was like in my spirit, like, man, that was wow, like wow, it's a good book, man. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures talk about Matthew 24 in regards to us it being a time of sorrow. People are not happy out here. If you look up the term America, the term America means bitter. People are very, very bitter about life right now, as they should. But at the same time, it's beautiful for us because we know this truth. We sit back here every day and we just enjoy what's happening to this world. We appreciate what's happening to this world. Sit back here and we smile in regards to what's happening to this world. We sit back
Total distance 1 mile. Total time 21 minutes and 59 seconds. Split pace 21 minutes 59 seconds per mile.
Walk you circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. You're living in an evil time. You're living in a time where friends will betray each other, family will betray each other. Scripture says that I did not come there. Yahushua said himself, I did not come to bring peace on earth, but a sword. You don't use swords to make spaghetti, you know. You use a sword, it's killing us. It's an instrument of separation. There's a song that I like. It's called the wrestling group Evolution had a song called Evolution. It was done by a group called Motorhead. And the chorus goes, I see the line in the sand. Time to find out who I am. Uh, Looking around to see where I stand, right? Evolution. And I'm like, yo, that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what we're going. Evolution. We are evolving. The Lord wants our skin harder. He wants us to be stronger. Because when the shit really hits the fan, we should already be battle sky. Scars are good things. Falling down, getting back up. Falling down is okay. Getting back up shows what type of man or woman you are. So these lessons are always for the brothers, but I'll throw that in there for the sisters as well, because I did say the hope will regulate the children. Children need to be taught to get back up. Getting back up is a sign of resilience. Have you counted the cost? Have you looked at the type of person you are? Do we have flaws? Oh, yeah. We do things that we shouldn't be doing? Oh, yeah. But we still keep rolling. We got to do our best to drop those things, man. I'm blameless. Yeah, good morning. So, I do this walk. It's always a good handful of people out here walking as well. Whew. It's going to be a hot one today. Almost a C note. That's 100 for people who don't know that. Some places call them hill. Some places call them other stuff. Where I'm from, there's still a C note. So I sit back here and I look at all this and I realize that the fight, shoes untied, that the fight that's before us is to make us stronger. Scripture says through much tribulation, we shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of Most High. Up, how I should have shot. Tribulation. That's trouble. That's anguish. That's hard times. Some of us might even be put to death for the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They're trying to make the whole world cashless, digital. Brother just put up a lesson in regards to Amazon already promoting wearable devices. Now, I'm speaking on a wearable device. This device sits in my hand. It's in our pockets every day. We done took a camera, computer, a notepad. What else? Camera, computer, notepad, video recorder, flashlight, right? Multiple other things that I can't remember. Put them all into one device and said, give me 2,000. And as a matter of fact, in 3 months it'll be obsolete. Next one will be 3,005. You know, I didn't want to make this long, but I'm just flowing in the spirit because I just want to talk about some things. Hey, Bird. Shalom to you too. you know, so the thing fight for the most is salvation. Look at that little dog that he's trying to bark at me every time we see it. It's funny, right? It's like I walk past his house and there's like two dogs. And one dog is just old. He's just the old man, you know what I'm saying? He just be laying down. He just be looking at me, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a little dog, a little pug. A little pug see me, he be trying to get at me, you know what I'm saying? But the older dog just be like, man, you know. And it's funny how that contrast is something that pretty much pertains to this epistle in regards to in regards to okay, I heard something. You know that chain you be hearing around a dog's neck? That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I'm about to try to tell you how about shit. I'll shine you today where you are. So when we were young in this truth, we're still fighting things to make ourselves better. You're young, wild, flew off the handle about shit, you know, you snap, you had a short fuse, right? Got a lot of folks in trouble. Right? Got a lot of us in trouble. But as you get into this truth, this knowledge, oh yeah. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. Good morning. Yes, sir. You too. Good morning. This knowledge wasn't understanding. You know, really start being in the spirit. One of the fruits of the spirit is temperance. And the older dog has temperance. Now let's keep it a buck. Somebody crossed that fence, got close to his home, he turned into something that little dog could never be or could never suit. That's the thing that we have to be. This is not our world. This is not our world. So if we paraphrase the scriptures say that if this is our home, I think Yahweh was saying that how Yahweh was saying that this was our world, then his people would fight. Man, we can't fight for nothing. What the hell we fighting for? We're in a country where everything that was created was to destroy us. My homegirl said yesterday, she had me laughing so hard. She was like, I have the Bible and the Constitution. And I'm like, what do you, okay, first things first. What are you talking about? Constitution. She said, well, I can pull out the Constitution. And so I said, no. No. There's nothing written in the Constitution that is for the betterment of the Israelite. Who is fighting for us in this world? Honestly, who will stand up? Who that has any power stand up for us? I don't hear Oprah saying shit. I mean, and they ain't nobody either. But I'm saying, any of these so-called billionaires ain't saying shit about us. Jason can put out a song saying still a nigga. Nigga, we know. What are you talking about? You know we're still a nigga. What you talking about, Shane? You just realize all that, like, God. Will just profit nothing in the day of wrath, man. Yahweh Shai starts letting off those missiles, those ICBMs. Then what? Then what? Hmm? Then what? Then what happens? Then what's at the person? And by your way out of salvation. Kanye talked that bullshit one time. I had a dream I was on the way to heaven. What do you say? I dream I was going to buy my way to heaven. Instead, I spent it on a necklace. Nigga, that's what that money's for, nigga. You're going to buy a fucking necklace. I mean, like, that's straight nigga shit. Can't fucking buy your way out of judgment, out of you know what I mean? You damn sure can't buy your way to salvation. You gotta earn salvation, motherfucker. And hold on, let me rephrase that. Let's rephrase that. That John 15 verse 16 is about being chosen. But there is effort that has to be put forth. Study to show thyself approved, a good worker unto the Lord, rightfully dividing the word of truth. You gotta put in some doggone work here, right? You will be saved by our faith and our works. The scriptures also say that Yahweh Shai is not slack in forgetting our work and labor of love that we have showed towards his name. One of the brothers put up a lesson about that the other day. He said, keep pushing. Yes, keep pushing. Count the cost. The so-called life-detecting Christians, they ain't count the cost. They go up in there every day, hooping and hollering, throwing up, saying a bunch of gibberish, acting like what you believe that they're speaking in tongues. I remember, let me tell you something. I had to go to church. I had to go to church. I didn't go to church because I didn't start going to church because I wanted to until my 20s, because I was in Boston, but I didn't know, like the Lord didn't show me his name and everything yet. I didn't know the truth, but I studied every day, and I still calling on Jesus, But I remember being a child, and I was like, I want to speak in tongues too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking about it as far as glory, because what the scriptures always said, and this is what people don't realize when you're in these churches. The scriptures talk about if there is someone speaking in tongues, there's always an interpreter there. Ain't nobody interpreting that. Who's that? What do you say? Coming on a Honda. Like, get out of here, nigga. The scriptures say that there is to be an interpreter present, so that the word of the Lord can be one interpreted, but at the same time received, and three, let there be that's what I'm looking for. A revelation in regards to know what the Spirit of the Lord says. Because when the prophet showed up, shit started moving. If the prophet showed up in a town, people were like, yo, are you here to fuck us up? Or is it all good? Oh no, it's all good. Y'all doing the right thing. Shit. And I'm so glad, man. I've been beating people's asses out here, trying to make sure that, you know what I mean? I could get the brother. I don't know if it was Nehemiah. Yeah, it was Nehemiah. He was so tired of this shit. It would be the Shabbat, and Moab would come over there trying to sell his bullshit, and a lot of the Israelites would go over there and buy. They buy on the Shabbat. The Lord and Yahweh didn't play that shit. Yahweh took niggas out like that. He had to send his only begotten son to have some grace and mercy on us. And it's not like Yahweh Shem Shai never had it. It's just that was just part of the script. And he was beating niggas up. He was beating niggas up because he didn't want to feel the wrath of Yahweh Shem. This scripture said that he was pulling niggas' hair out their head. That's true fear of the Lord, man. Man, I got a good one. I always wanted to be that man. I always wanted to, out of everything I've done in life, by the power of Spirit, Yahweh Shem Shai, the entertainment world I was in, hate that. All the things the Lord blessed me to do. I was able to sit and eat dinner and hang around famous people. That wasn't my life. Listen, anytime, you say funny. Listen, true. Anytime I opened up for somebody, right? Let's keep it a button. Anytime I opened up for, two cases. Actually, they're all the same case, but I can remember two specifically. when I did a show, when I did a couple shows with Bruce, and if you ever see his DVD where it says Shipwrecked in Boston, that's me introducing it. My name's in the liner note. My name's in the credits. And well, stage name. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? You know? And I was like, oh man, his agent loved me. He was talking me up around the people who, put me on the show and they were like, we got they're like, we're going over everything for the DVD. And I wasn't on the DVD. If I was, that'd have been nice. But he was like, yo, that's the director said, all right, you're gonna do your 20 minutes. I was like, all right, When I had my 20 minutes in my head, it was all timed. I had it all down to the second. And his agent was like, yeah, it's an hour 20 minutes too. And I was like, sure, you're right. But then in my back of my head, I was like, he's gonna take me with him. He's gonna take me with him. Take me with him. I'm never gonna have to punch a clock no more. I ain't never got to listen to these devils no more, these jobs. I never got to deal with none of this shit no more. I'm gonna be on the road with Bruce, baby. Nothing. Had did a show with Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin. Let's go. One of the kings of comedy. Legend. Grew up watching everything that man was in. 4 shows with Eddie Griffin. 4. Hung out with that dude like I was his relative. Dude had his arm around. These pictures of me out there of him. With him. Oh, well, the other man, not now, not this dude now. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go on the road with Eddie Griffin. Ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. This is where my life changes for the better. Nothing. I was being prepared. I don't know what would have happened to me if I would have got what happened in my life. I don't know what would have happened to me. I could have been I could have been dead somewhere. I could have been on drugs. I could have been I listen, when you're chosen, you're chosen. But it takes a lot of work and effort to look at the things that make you have to count the cost, that make you have to look at what's going on. Because if you're going to sit back and look at what's going on, then you got to realize that there is a fight, there is a law, there is a way of doing things. And if you're going to truly do things, you got to do them the right way. But it was funny because one of the brothers was talking about their lesson that they gave yesterday when they were saying that they referred to a statement that was used in one of the Marvel movies, Spider-Man, where Uncle Ben talked about. He said, "Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility. Have you count the cost? There is a responsibility. There is a conduct, right? These people seek out to make our lives harder. You got problems at work, man. Listen, go to human resources. They have to do something about it. I know we ain't got no money for no damn lawyers. There ain't no lawyer gonna take nothing pro bono until you get your settlement. You know what I mean? A lot of lawyers should though, because they ain't like all them are busy. At least not that. They ain't all busy. What's that? That's a big, that's a hot, that's a big old bird, boy. I know, dang, Jack. It's funny because this way that I walk, I always see chariots over here. Like back behind me, I see the chariot in the cloud, yo. It was so amazing, man. I could have took a video of it, but I took pictures of it, and it was so bright. and I was watching it move from from one part to another part. And I think it was just one big chariot, but it looked like it was glowing. Well, was glowing. This is broad daylight now, and it was glowing brighter, and it was moving from right to left. And I was like, damn, dude. But I was like, going on the Lord, man, told all y'all about seeing our shot. And I also, man, I've seen so many chariots over here, man. I seen one time, it's my screensaver, and not screensaver, but like wallpaper. It was like three in like a triangle. Oh man, they were so big and they were black and they were flat. Not like pancake flat, but like flat. It's funny because in one of the, I think it might have been one of the Marvel films. I think one of the ships that Thanos showed up in. I seen that in a dream, and so it could have been a vision. I'm not even sure, man. But when I seen that ship, I was like, hey, I was like, that ship's very familiar, you know. But yeah, I didn't want to see it going on. I'm almost at my destination. I thought I still got another mile and a half, but I just wanted to get these words out, man. And I hope this lesson was edifying. And I didn't, if I was um, all over the place, Salakia for that. But I really hope this was edifying because I do like being able to walk and talk and be able to sweat all this out and get myself to where I gotta get myself to plantation. Yeah, which I'm so glad it's almost over because I'm tired of being around these wicked ass people. But but we'll see how things go. Today's gonna be a good day, regardless of what happens, man. I was up this morning reading Sirach too, man, where it says, I said I can't get to on the phone to
Total time
but
4 minutes and 40
you're
seconds.
supposed to.
Split
It
pace
says,
22
when now
minutes
come, so I
54
too.
seconds per mile.
And one it says, when now my son will now come to serve the Lord, prepares thy soul for temptation. Set thy mind aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. You know what I mean? And it's like that goes right back to its cost. Sorry, something I'm glad I started and ended on the same thing. All right, but yeah, read Sirach 2, some of the scriptures that I referred to, read those as well. Pray that how about Shemi Al-Shai gives you the understanding. If you're calling on those names, if you're still calling on White Jesus, stop. That's not his name. The letter J was not invented until like 1849 or something like that. It was some crazy number. So if the letter wasn't invented until AD, what were they calling him when he was still walking the earth? Oh, I know, Shah. So we call on Yahweh about Shemi Al-Shai. Yahweh being the Father, who the Word and close God, but Hashem in the name of Yahweh Shai, who the Word and the close JC. Those are names. Those are names that are power. Those are names that's going to save us. Those are names that we have to cleave on to. Those are the names that if we don't have those names, then we are lost. And I don't want to be lost. I know we are part of the lost sheep of the children of Israel, but we've been found, man. The chosen have been found. Like I said, I gave you examples on what was some of the things that were going on with me when I was just, all this is testimony, you know. That's very active where I'm walking. So, you know, almost 3 miles in, beautiful. Yeah, I think this walk's really 4 miles. Yeah, four for change. But yeah, man, that's just what it is, D. You know, we gotta keep pushing. Gotta keep pushing. Oh. Yep. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect, man. Y'all have a good day, man. Stay prayed up, man. Put that armor on you, B. Listen, I've got armor, man. We gotta hold that shield of faith, baby. You know? Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. If the Lord be for us, who can be against us. They better be careful coming against the Hawabashim Yahweh Shah's chosen. Shalom.